Okey, Assalamualaikum. So hari ni 10 Disember 2022. Kita akan berbincang and I will bentangkan about kinematics. Okay, more on how to solve the questions. But first let me introduce myself. Saya Cikgu Marni binti Musa dari MRSM Bentuk. Okay, mengajar subjek matematik dan matematik tambahan. So dari segi pengalaman kerja, saya pernah berkhidmat di beberapa MRSM. MRSM pertama saya ialah YT Dungun. Yang kedua Transkrian Penang. Yang ketiga ialah MRSM Bentong, dipindahkan ke Pekan, MRSM TAR dan kembali ke Bentong sehingga sekarang. Dan saya juga adalah bekas pelajar MRSM sendirilah. So I'm honoured to be presenting the last topical webinar for BPM unit Matematik. Okay, so for your information, kinematics adalah topical webinar yang terakhir yang dianjurkan oleh BPM unit Matematik. So kalau lepas-lepas ni sekiranya ada pelajar yang ingin mencari bahan berkaitan dengan topik matematik atau matematik tambahan ke, bolehlah cari dalam YouTube. Okay, so that's the first one. And then apa yang kita akan belajar, table of contents apa yang saya akan bentangkan dalam slide saya kali ini, kita ada 4 benda lah. The first one should be review. And then the main core is the past year questions. Kita bukan belajar benda baru, but now it's more to revision towards SPM lah. Past year questions saya ada 11 soalan semuanya from various states. Okay. Lepas tu I will highlight on the important keywords. Sebab kinematics ni basically it's just revolve around the same thing again and again and again. Beza dia tak jauh pun. If you know the keywords in kinematics, it won't be a big problem for you. Awak akan tengok nanti, bendanya sama-sama. Pusing-pusing kat situ juga. And then last one is conclusion. Okay, let's review. Let's review what is kinematics of linear motion. Nama pendeknya kinematics lah. Kalau silibus nama kita panggil kinematics of linear motion. Okay, so this is the review before we move on to the past year question. Kita ada 3 benda in kinematics. Number 1 is displacement, velocity and then acceleration. Displacement is S, bukan D. And then velocity is V, acceleration is A. Even in physics pun, I believe you have come across these 3 things. Ada je dalam fizik. So, apa benda yang pertama ini? Okay, kalau tengok yang ni, kita ada from displacement to velocity and then velocity to acceleration. Okay, velocity to acceleration. So kita akan tengok kalau from displacement to velocity, kita differentiate. From velocity to acceleration, kita pun differentiate. And then kita tahu differentiation dengan integration ni dia opposite of each other kan. Kalau yang tu, kalau ke sana dia differentiation and then when you come back it will be integration. So that's happened to kinematics too. So from velocity to displacement we have to integrate lah. Okay. And then from acceleration to velocity pun kita akan integrate. Dia pusing-pusing kat sini. So these are the few things that you will see in kinematics. Okay, yang highlight ni, bold words ni. Okay, at the left of O, kita ada less than O, equals to O, greater than O. Ini pun saya akan sebut nanti at the end. Tapi kita tengok one by one. Kalau displacement kita ada at the left of O, simbolnya macam ni lah. Kalau dia equals to O, particle is at O, passes through O, return to starting point O. These three things, basically, inilah maksud dia. And then kalau dia kata at the right of O, greater than O. O ni basically the starting point lah biasanya. Okay, what about velocity? Velocity pun sama, dia ada juga moves to the left. What is the keywords now? Kalau awak tengok displacement, dia at the left of 0. Displacement ni, kalau nak faham lagi senang, is about distance. Distance ataupun length, very similar lah. When we talk about velocity, dia dah bertukar menjadi movement. Meaning velocity ni, dia dah pergerakan, dia dah bergerak. So, here are the keywords juga. Tapi yang ni saya akan ulang balik lah, okay. Dia mungkin guna stationary, stop instantaneously, particle is at rest, changes direction, reverse direction. Ni saya akan bagi tahu nanti. Why changes direction and reverse direction tu? Kita kata V equals to 0. And then if it moves to the right, biasalah kalau move to the left less than 0. Kalau moves to the right, dia akan jadi greater than 0. Okay, and then A, acceleration. Acceleration, dia ada decreasing, dia ada, kalau decreasing, kita panggil decelerate. Yang ni pun kita dah belajar kan. Okay, particle is slowing down. Pun kita kata decreasing juga. Okay, what are the keywords? Apa benda kalau A equals to 0? Constant velocity. Uniform velocity. Okay, and then these are greater than 0, increasing. Okay, so tak apa. This thing I will re-explain later. Ini in one view lah. Okay, so this is the second time kita originally after dah asalnya last year Cikgu Baginda. He has presented the same topics, kinematics of linear motion last year. Ni 10 months ago ni saya first time saya buat slide . Okay, so this is the link for Cikgu Baginda punya. Basically, Cikgu Baginda dia ada certain things that he highlight, like what are the prior knowledge yang kena ada, semua macam tu . So you can check both of our kinematic slide if you need more guidance . Okay, so next one. Okay, let's go to partial questions. Okay, saya ambil daripada beberapa negeri. Let's start with, ini bukan negeri punya, ini SPM punya. Kita start dengan yang betul punya dulu. Okay, so this is, kalau kinematics, normally you can find kinematics dalam section C paper 2. Okay, section C paper 2. And then kinematics involve 10 marks. Memang besar, but then kinematics sebenarnya senang je kalau kita nak solve. InsyaAllah boleh, okay. Hopefully after 11 question has been explained, you will have better view on how to solve kinematics. Okay, let's read the question. Two particles A and B move along a straight line. The velocity of particle A, VA, meter per second is given by yang tu. Okay. Velocity of particle B, kalau kita tengok ini function for V, velocity. And then kita ada velocity of particle B, kita ada VB equals to 24T minus 25. Okay, such that T is the time in seconds after both particle passing fixed point O. Cerita dia. So kita ada two particle. Okay, what we're going to find is number, okay, A, the maximum velocity of particle A, 3 marks. And then B1 kita ada the time in seconds when particle A and particle B meet. So which means A and B ni, they are moving in, not in the same direction now. So one may be to the left, one may be to the right, and then somehow these two particles meet. So kita nak tahu where is exactly these two particles meet. Okay, and then B2 kita ada the total distance traveled by particle A in the first 5 seconds. So kita nak tahu in the first 5 seconds tu only particle A. Particle B kita tak kisah, kita cari particle A. This one 7 marks for both B1 and B2. Okay, so let's see how do we solve. Kita ada velocity of A as mentioned. Okay, when we want to find maximum velocity, when you want to solve kinematics, you have to know the clue. Clue ni maksud dia, what are the keywords? Okay, ataupun orang kata benda tu how to solve lah, the starting point on how to solve the question. Okay, the clue will be dv dt equals to 0. Kalau kita kata maximum, or maybe later on you will see the word minimum. Once you see, okay, bila je awak nampak, once you see maximum, bila nampak je maximum ni, automatically you differentiate. Saya tulis different DIFM lah, semua faham Okay, when we say maximum, or maybe later on you will see minimum, automatically you differentiate. Nak differentiate apa? So when we say maximum velocity, that means we differentiate dv dt lah, sebab maximum velocity. And then what to do next? Equates to 0. So this is the biggest clue on solving maximum velocity. And then how do we differentiate? This one is kemahiran differentiation. How do we differentiate? VA equals to 2040 minus 40 square minus 20. Kalau ada yang masih menggunakan formula, then you do it slowly lah. Okay, so this one dv dt meaning this one 2040. Kalau kita differentiate, we will get 24 kan? So since this is the first kita kata first slide, so saya bagi tahu dululah. So if we differentiate this one 2040, kalau kita differentiate we will get 24. Betul tak? Okay, and then for second term kalau kita differentiate, kita akan dapatlah negative 80 because 2 and this 2 tu kita ke depan. And then kita akan dapat 2 times negative 4, you will get negative 8. And then T, 2 minus 1 kan, for differentiation. So that's how we get negative 80. And then this one, constant, so dia habis lah, jadi 0. So that's how we get 24 minus 80. Lepas tu kita nak buat apa? Okay, so when we equate to 0, jadilah benda ni, 24 minus 80 equals to 0. So, the main thing here is, apa yang kita nak dapat? Basically, we will find the value of T. So, kita dapat T equals to 3. So, what shall we do with T equals to 3? Itu baru dapat the time. Sekarang yang kita nak cari maximum velocity. So, kalau kita dah ada time dia, then what shall we do is we just differentiate into the formula. This is the formula asal kan? Substitute T is 3, this one is 3. Be careful when you want to do calculation, tunjukkan yang ni, the substitution. Show the substitution. Jangan kita kata tiba-tiba kita nak skip benda ni kan. Because bila kita buat something tu, make sure kita kita buat tu biar tahu markah dia kat mana. Barulah kita tak rugi markah kan. So sekarang ni awak tengok kat sini. Kalau formula asal dia 2040. So that's why awak kena tunjuk ni yang 3. Jangan terus ambil calculator 24 times 3. Yang penting sekarang ni you substitute into the correct formula. Formula yang asal ni kat atas ni. Yang tu formula asal. And then this one, 4t square. Again, substitute 3. Jangan buat 9. Because substitution from the beginning, dia kan tulis 3 square kan. Ganti je. Sebab apa yang ni, dia sebenarnya nak senangkan awak. You don't have to do any calculation yet. Tapi dia nak bagi markah dekat awak. Sebab ini bukannya ada calculation kan. You just substitute. Okay. And then lepas tu awak nak guna calculator terus pun tak apa. Dapatlah jawapan 16. So please don't skip this step. Jangan skip step ni. Awal-awal ni saya detail out. Towards the end, saya akan cubalah skip apa yang tak perlu. So that is 3 marks. Okay, di manakah markahnya? First one, when you equate to 0, maknanya you know what to do after you differentiate. Kalau kat sini tak dapat markah lagi. 24 minus 80 differentiation sebab awak hanya differentiate. Tapi you still do not know what to do next. Apa yang penting? Yang penting bukan differentiate sahaja. Yang penting you differentiate and then you equate to 0. So that's the main point. So this is the first mark. Where is the second mark? Cuba teka yang saya stresskan tadi. This one. When you substitute with 3. Itu sebabnya penting. Kalau rezeki tak elok, let's say this one you change it to 9, most probably tak dapat. Kalau kata tahun tu pemeriksaannya agak rigid. Okay. And lastly is the answer lah. Okay, so that is 3 marks. Let's go to the second slide. Second slide dia tanya, calculate the time in seconds when particle A and particle B meet. Okay, seperti biasa, look for the clue. Apa maksud dia? What does it mean when particle A and particle B meet? Dia kan dari dua arah yang berbeza. Okay, dia ada dua arah yang berbeza. So, that means somehow the thing that have to be the same one for them to meet each other ialah their displacement. Maknanya A is moving and then B is moving, lepas tu dia jumpa. Dia jumpa, that means the distance. Their distance is the same lah, barulah dia jumpa kan. Okay, sebab dia starting point kat sana, A, B starting point kat sini, and then they move together. Nanti dia akan jumpa. Okay, so we have SA dengan SB. Tapi kalau kita tengok tadi, if you mesti awak dah lupa slide yang tadi. Kalau awak tengok, what is the original equation? Saya tulis balik dia punya equation dia. Okay, yang diberi ialah PA. Okay, kita tengok SA. To find displacement for A, we have to integrate. Remember the mind map yang saya tunjuk awal-awal tu? From displacement to velocity, we integrate. Tapi kalau daripada velocity to find displacement, kita integrate. Dia terbalik kan? So dia akan dapat macam ni. And then kita integrate. This is another skill for integration. So awak kena ingat macam mana dah formula dia. Okay, T integration, then this is to the power of 1 kan. So that's how we get 1 plus 1. And then dia punya denominator ataupun pembawah dia pun samalah, jadi 1 plus 1 dapat yang tu. And then this one, this is 2. So that's why jadi 2 plus 1. Denominator dia pun jadi 2 plus 1. And then minus, this is what you get after you integrate. So what happened here is testing the basic skill of integration. Okay, normally dia punya integration tak susah pun. Dia biasa-biasa sahaja. So you will get, lepas tu awak simplify This is 2 kan. So 24 and 2, that's how you get 12. And then t square minus 4 over 3. Mana datang 3? 3 is 2 plus 1. T cube minus 20t plus c. Tapi kalau tengok, this is c. Dia ada c. So in any equation, kita tak boleh ada c. We have to determine what is the value of c. Because c stands for constant. Okay, kita nak tahu. So to find that constant, kita tahu t0. Okay, bila kita kata t0, okay, kalau kata, sekejap saya pilih warna lain Okay, if it's T0, starting point. T0 means the starting point. What happens to the distance? Oh, sorry. What happened to the displacement? Mestilah displacement dia still 0 kan? Sebab dia tak ke mana-mana lagi. When T equals to 0, displacement is 0 sebab dia tak ke mana-mana lagi. Dia tak bergerak pun lagi. So, after you substitute, kalau awak tengok balik, after you substitute, you will see that kalau sini 0, this one will become 0. If this is 0, kalau T dah 0, sini pun jadi 0. If T is 0, sini pun jadi 0. So kalau sini 0, 0, 0, apa jadi dengan C? C pun akan jadi 0. So that's how we get C equals to 0. Okay. And then jadilah. This is the equation for displacement of A. Dapat satu. Then we have to find for SB. So we repeat the same process again. And this is what will happen. Beza Kalau apa function B for A ni dia macam ni. Quadratic in terms of quadratic. But then for B dia linear. So kita, but then still the same thing. Sama je. Basic skill of integration. And then kita akan dapat keluar juga C ni. Because this is infinite integral kan. Kalau indefinite integral, it must be accompanied with plus C. Jangan lupa pula. Kalau definite integral yang ada limit tu barulah kita hilang C. But since this is indefinite integral, so kita kenalah plus C. So kita nak hapuskan C. So samalah macam tadi juga. When T equals to 0, that means particle B tu at T equals to 0, dia tak ke mana-mana pun lagi. So dapatlah C equals to 0. Tengok. Okay, so this is the function for displacement of B. Okay. Okay, so far okay. So we have both. Kita dah dapat displacement for A, kita dah dapat displacement for B. Lepas tu kita ada this one, the clue. Okay. Barulah kita boleh buat yang ni. Ada yang ni, baru boleh buat. So this is what we will get. Okay, kita equatekan sahaja. And then the next process is going to be harder lah sebab it involves calculus semua kan. Tambah-tambah ada cube. Ni kalau student saya ni dia takut ni. Kalau panjang-panjang macam ni kan. Okay, kalau panjang-panjang macam ni kan. Okay. So kita akan dapat. But after you simplify, this is what you will get. This is what you will get. Ini semua kemahiran awak semua sebab we are trying to solve. We are trying to solve. Kalau kita nak solve, that means it must be equals to 0. Itu satu lagi yang kita kena ingat. When we want to solve, that means this one must be equals to 0. Kalau kita nak solve. Kalau kita nak solve. Apa-apa sekalipun, not just kinematics, either is trigo or other topics, if you want to solve, then you equate to 0. Lepas tu, what can we find here? What we're looking for is basically T. Okay, T. Yalah kalau ada sini T kan. So kita nak cari T lah. How do I get this value? Macam mana saya dapat value ni? Using calculator. Using calculator. Kalau dah cube kan biasa guna calculator kan. You guys are good with the technology. I believe you can find the value very well. Okay. So what you will get. Tapi kena ingat you will get two values here. Sebab kita ada T keluar betul ni. So this is T equals to 0. And then yang dalam ni, what is the value of T that you will get? Ini kita equatekan 0. So what we will get is square root of 15 over 4. Okay. So kita pun dapatlah T equals to 1.936. Okay. So that's to answer the question lah. The time. Okay. Saya tunggu sekejap because based on my colleagues discussion, katanya slide saya lagging sekejap ya. Okay. So before I move on to another slide, let me recap this slide sebab dia panjang Okay, so this is to find the time in seconds when particle A and particle B meet. So this is the clue. You have to identify the clue. So clue dia ialah SA, displacement for A must be equals to displacement for B. So kita ada two parts. The first part here on the left is to find the displacement of A. So kalau kita nak tahu displacement from velocity, kita kena integrate. So after you integrate the function of velocity, Awak dapat C because when you integrate is indefinite integral ataupun kalau bahasa Melayu kamiran tak tentu. So plus C. Kalau saya salah tu maaf okay. So plus C, so kita nak kena hilangkan plus C sebab plus C is a constant. So when you want to find any function, dia tak boleh ada plus C. So how do we determine what value of C is? Kita pun tengok yang ni. When T equals to 0, displacement is 0. What does this do means? Maksud dia, when the starting point, displacement tu dia tak bergerak ke mana-mana pun. So that's why S equals to 0. So if this is 0, this is 0, this is 0, and this is 0, C obviously 0, dapatlah yang ni. So this is the function for displacement of A. And then B pun sama. We repeat the same process, integration, find the value for C, and then you get the function of SB. Okay? Okay, and then since the clue says SA equals to SB, kita pun equate lah mereka. Okay? And then equate, and then when we want to solve, kalau solve that means equals to 0. So kena pandai-pandai lah. 12t square minus 12t square ni hapus lah kan. 12t square and 12t square ni basically hapus lah. And then yang tinggal is negative 20t plus 25t. That's why dapat kita pindah ke sana ni. Ni kan negatif kan. This one becomes positive. Kita pindah sana and then equals to 0. After we factorize everything, we will get two values and then we choose 1.936. Agak-agak yang mana jawapan dia? Yang ni ke? T equals to 0? No, yang ni lah jawapan dia. Okay, so where are the marks? Kita kena tengok markah dia. First mark is when you find any function, either one. Sama ada awak jumpa displacement for A or displacement for B. Panjang-panjang ni only one mark. So that's why kena buat betul-betul, elok-elok, step by step, jangan bagi salah. Where is the second mark? Second marknya di sini, when you equate them. When you equate them and then try to solve. Dia bukan equate saja, dia bukan equate sahaja. Dia equate and try to solve. It comes together. Kalau awak equate saja, most probably marking scheme tak dapat. So dia kena equate, awak kena equate and saya take note kat situ. Awak kena equate, kena ingat kat sini dia punya markah ni maksud dia equate to 0 and then plus with solve. Dia kena dua-dua sekali barulah dapat markah. Okay, and then the last one should be T equals to the answer, jawapan dia. So 3 marks. Panjang tapi 3 markah sahaja. Okay, calculate B2, the total distance travel by particle A in the first 5 second. Okay, so kita nak tahu in the first 5 second, 5 saat yang pertama, what is the total distance? Just for particle A. Kita ada 4 marks there. Kita nak buat macam mana? Okay, so this is the original function. Ini yang dari soalan vector A. So kita nak cari total distance. Okay. Benda yang pertama, okay, so you have to understand. Kenapa my second row ni dia kata change direction. Sebab when you have any particle or any kinematics question, awak kena determine bila dia change direction. Because sometimes katakan, can you imagine a particle is moving and then at one point dia pun pusing. Katakan earlier on it moves to the right. And then somehow bila tiba-tiba je dia pusing to the left. So you have to know sebab apa. Kalau dia pusing to the left, kita kena kira yang kat bawah tu pula. Dia punya distance yang bila dia berubah tu. Nanti saya akan tunjuk dia punya diagram. But first, you have to know when did the particle change direction. So, kalau dia change direction, kita kena guna velocity equals to 0. Kenapa velocity equals to 0? Kenapa velocity is equals to 0? Dia ibaratnya kalau kata particle is moving, katakan dia moving kan, nanti saya tunjuk diagram dia dululah. Kemudian okay, so V equals to 0, kita akan dapat 2040 minus equals to 0. Lepas tu kita, okay, two things happen here. T square minus 60 plus 5 equals to 0. Yang pertama, what happened here is yang pertama kita dah susun. Kita susun from T square, T and number. And then number 2, kita dah tukar yang square tu jadi positif. Awak nampak tak? And then 3 things. Satu lagi kita dah simplify ni. Kita dah simplify. Pertama kita simplify. We divide by 6. Tu kita dapat yang ni. And then kita dah susun. T square ni datang duduk depan. And then kita dah positifkan dia. Negative 4 tu dah jadi plus dah. Tak ada dah negative 4 tu. So that's what happened lah. Okay. And then we factorize. Kalau dah ada kuadratik kan dalam factorize kan. Okay. Kalau guna calculator, be careful. And then kita T equals to 1. And then T equals to 5. Pandai. Okay. So kita dapat 2 values of T. So kat sini masuk kata that particle tu dia change direction at T equals to 1 and T equals to 5. Sekarang kita tengok diagram. Apa cerita dia? So this is particle A. Particle A. This is the movement. Okay. Kenapa dapat mana tahu tu? Okay. Sekarang kita tengok. How do I know T equals to 1 tu dia ke kiri dulu? Ke kiri lah kan kalau macam ni. Ini ke kiri lah maksud dia. So let's calculate. When T equals to 1, kita nak masuk dalam function yang mana? Kita masuk dalam function displacement. Jangan masuk dalam function velocity. Okay, so kita pun masuk dalam function displacement. Okay, maybe I should write the function of displacement first. Senang awak nak rujuk So function displacement is SA equals to 12T square minus 4/3T cube minus 20T. Ini function for displacement of A. So kita substitute sajalah. Macam saya cakap tadi, make sure you show the substitution. Tulis. Jangan terus kira. Tulis sahaja. Substitute only. The value should be negative 28/3. Di mana negative 28/3? Kat situ. Alamak. Dia duduk kat dalam tu Okay. Nampak Okay. When T equals to 5. When T equals to 5, we substitute with 5 into the displacement function, then we will get 100/3. Where is 100/3? 100/3 is over there. Okay, so kita kena faham what does it mean by negative displacement and then positive displacement. Kalau negative displacement, it means it's on the left of O. Kalau maksud dia, kalau kita kata this one negative tu, maksud dia ialah left of O. Kalau kata negatif. Kalau kata positif, right of O. So kita, tu sebabnya this particle dia gerak ke kiri dulu. Lepas tu dia gerak, kan dia change direction kan kat dua ni. Maknanya sampai dekat T equals to 1 tu, dia pun reverse direction. Kalau dari ke kiri, dia pergi ke kanan. This is how the particle moves. Sampailah ke sini. So kita dapat T1, T5. Itu sebabnya kita kena tahu how do we find the displacement. Okay. Sekarang kita tengok. Total distance travel. 28/3, 28/3, 100/3. Kenapa kita kena ada 3? Kenapa kena ada 3? Okay. The first 28/3 ni, ialah mana yang pertama ni? Yang pertama. Okay, yang pertama is from over here until over here. This is the first one. The first 28/3. Lepas tu, what happened to the second part? Kat mana second part tu? Second part is over here. From here, lepas dia change direction tu, sampai sini. This is 2. And then, the third part ni, 100/3. Kat mana pula 100/3? 100/3 from sini sampai sini. So, this is third part. That's why kita akan dapat 28/3 plus 28/3 plus 100/3, which equivalent to 52. Okay, which equivalent to 52. So, di manakah markahnya? First one, quadratic and try to solve. Quadratic and try to solve. Kenapa saya kata try to solve? Sebab to solve quadratic kan kita ada banyak method. Number one is factorization, or maybe we can use formula. Dua ni yang paling famous lah. Okay, yang paling famous, yang formula negative b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac/2a tu. Ataupun kita guna factorization. In this case, I use factorization. Where is the second mark? Okay, second mark is di mana-mana either you find the SA 40 equals to 1 ataupun SA 40 equals to 5. Mana-mana. And then the third mark is yang calculation yang ni lah, yang awak plus ni. Kalau tak tengok diagram betul-betul, most probably student will just plus number 1 and number 3. Dia lupa pasal number 2. Dia lupa pasal number 2. And then obviously the fourth mark is the last one. Okay. Okay, so saya ulang sekali lagi untuk second slide. Awal-awal ni saya detail dulu Okay, takut ada lagging ke apa. Okay, so let's see. B2. Kita nak cari total distance travel by particle A. Okay, total distance particle A. So, kalau distance, we have velocity. Question give velocity. So, that means to find displacement, kita kena total distance. Benda pertama, sebelum kita cari displacement, we have to find whether that particle change direction ke tidak. Awak memang kena cari. Kalau rezeki dia tak change direction, rezeki awak lah. But you have to find when did the particle change direction. How do we find the particle change direction ke tak? Then, bila dia change direction, okay, when it change direction, maksud dia bergerak kan? So, when it moving, tiba-tiba dia stop. Bila dia nak change direction, kan kena stop. Even on the road pun, awak tak adalah change direction terus corner kan? Maybe you're not driving, but maybe your parents are. Dia kena somehow, kena berhenti dulu, slow. So, VA equals to 0, and then you factorize. So, at this part, 3 things have happened. Number 1, kita dah susun. T square duduk depan. And then we positive them. Sepatutnya negative 40 square. Tapi dia dah jadi 40 square. Tak nampak ni kat tengah ni. And then we simplify. The whole equation kita dah divide by 6. Divide by 6 pula. Divide by 4. And then we factorize. Kita dapat 2 values of T. Apa maksud dia? Maksud dia, this particle change direction at T equals to 1 and T equals to 5. And this is the diagram. Mana pula kita tahu that particle move to the left first. Kita buat calculation. Calculation guna apa? Kita kena guna displacement sebab kita nak tahu dia ke mana dulu. Jarak dia tu sebelah kiri ke ataupun sebelah kanan of O. So when we substitute T equals to 1, jangan substitute dalam V. Kita substitute dalam displacement. Kita dapat negative 28/3. What does negative mean? Negative mean left of O. Dia left of O. Dia duduk dia. T equals to 5, kita dapat 100/3. Apa maksud 100/3? Meaning 100/3 right of O. Sini. Tapi kalau kita nak cari total distance travel, Jangan lupa, we have 3 parts. Number 1, from starting point to this one. And then when it change direction from this one until O. And then from O until T equals to 5. So kita akan dapat 3. And then the last one should be 52. Okay. So kita masih soalan yang pertama. Okay, so that's it for question number 1. Let's go to question number 2. Okay, this is Terengganu 2021. A particle moves along a straight line such that its displacement. Kali ni the function given is displacement. S equals to T cube minus 60 square plus 90. Tadi kita dapat velocity. Where T is the time in seconds after passing through a fixed point O. Assume motion to the right is positive. Okay. So kita tengok yang mula-mula sekali, which is initial velocity. Kita ada keyword yang baru. This is the function for displacement. Tapi soalan bukan tanya displacement. Soalan tanya pasal initial velocity. How do we get from displacement to velocity? Kita nak kena buat apa? Kita kena differentiate. Kalau ingat lagi jadual tadi kan, from displacement to velocity kena differentiate that displacement. So kita akan dapat 3t square minus 12t plus 9. And then what is the clue? Lepas tu kita nak apa? Kalau kata initial, what does initial mean? Ini kena ingat. This is the first time we see the word initial in my slide lah. Okay, kalau dia kata initial, tak kisahlah initial velocity ke, initial acceleration ke, initial displacement ke, dia mesti T equals to 0. Initial means starting. Kalau dah starting tu maksudnya dia tak ke mana-mana lagi lah. So T equals to 0. Okay. So when T equals to 0, kita pun substitute lah. T equals to 0, dia akan jadi 0. When T equals to 0, dia akan jadi 0. So apa yang tinggal? Is 9. So that's why V equals to 9. Dapatlah yang tu. Okay. So far so good. Okay. Okay. Next one. Saya takut. Okay. Kejap Kita pause kejap. Soalan teknikal Okay, kita try. Slide saya dah boleh nampak ke? Or is it still lagging? Should I proceed or not? Oh, lagging lagi. Okay, tunggu sekejap ya. Boleh apa ni, green city. And once everything okay, then we will do balik
Okay. Sebentar ya.
Okay, dah share balik dah. Dah nampak?
Belum lagi tak? Belum. Bahan tak keluar lagi. It's a blank.
Blank.
Please reshare your content.
Dah share dah. Kita stop sharing kejap. Kita share balik. Screen.
Oh, still blank. How?
Macam mana ya?
Okay, maybe Kak Mani boleh tolong close dulu PowerPoint tu and then reopen and start sharing again.
Okay, kita buka balik.
Yep, now can see something.
Tak nampak
Boleh buka PowerPoint semula.
Okay. Sekarang? Boleh?
Okay, ada.
Ada. Saja dia buat kelakar Okay, nampak sekarang?
Nampak.
Okay, Terengganu
Okay, terima kasih. Minta maaf semua.
Okay. Okay, so let's continue. Hopefully no more technical problem Okay, so this is question number 2 Terengganu. So initial velocity.
Belum. Yang kami nampak adalah dia punya muka depan je. Belum ke slide tu lagi.
Masya Allah. Dia macam mana?
Okay, kita take times off sekejap. 5 minit. Tunggu sekejap
Sekejap, kita stop sharing sekejap. Then we share screen. Sekarang nampak apa?
Sekarang blank.
Allahu Akbar.
Takut masalah internet sikit.
So far okay. Internet okay je. So what to do?
Kena reshare juga lagi.
Sekejap lagi.
Kita ada another PowerPoint yang konten sama pun boleh cuba share juga.
Kalau yang ni, kalau guna macam ni, sama juga.
Ini sama juga. Harap bersabar ya nak murid. Okay, sementara itu para pelajar mungkin boleh tengok di ruangan Q&A dan bertanya soalan ataupun baca soalan yang rakan-rakan anda telah bagi. Mungkin ada yang awak pun nak tahu juga kat situ. Okay. Try to continue with the exercise while we try to resolve this issue. Kak Mani dapat idea tu?
Still thinking.
The backup plan is to save the PowerPoint as PDF dan boleh contoh-contoh juga.
Macam mana?
PowerPoint as PDF.
Okay, as PDF. Kalau di PDF jadi
Export. Export. Turun bawah sikit.
plastiknya. Boleh buka yang dekat.
Tekan go to export. Yang ni save as. Yang tadi tu kat tepi sekali tu ada save as tu. Okay. Pergi bawah sikit. Export. Yes. Tekan situ. Okay. PDF. Yang kat situ tu.
Create PDF ni.
Yes.
And then publish.
Yeah. Terus siap nota untuk belajar sekali.
So cancel this one. Dia keluar macam ni. So dah akan keluar kat sini lah.
Dah keluar belum? Dah publish belum?
Dah publish. Tapi dekat screen tak nampak kan?
Ya, okay. Keluar dulu daripada screen sharing yang ni. Kena share screen lagi sekali lah. Bukan share screen PowerPoint, share screen je.
Okay, nampak?
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. Kita kat mana tadi? So, kita nak besarkan sikit. Kita Terengganu tadi. Okay. So, nampak kan?
Yes.
Okay. Aish, kita dah rugi like how many minutes? Almost 9 minutes. Okay, let's continue. Oh, tapi kita tak ada ni lah kan? Kita tak ada animation lah.
Tak ada animation, but your hands could still animate with your conteng-contengan.
Okay.
Kita kata
So, this one is no animation So, awak boleh tengok dah all the secrets have been revealed. Okay. So, kalau kita tengok, okay, let's start Kita conteng, 2 times conteng lah ni. Conteng on conteng. daripada kita rugi masa waiting for that things to reappear. Saya pun tak tahu masalah apa. Okay, so kita tengok. So kita ada, this is Terengganu paper 2021. Okay, so kita ada a particle moves along. Do we have to make it bigger? I think we can. Okay, better Okay, so kita ada a particle moves along a straight line such that its displacement is given by s t cube minus 60 square plus 90. T is the time. Okay, so initial velocity. Okay, kalau initial velocity, this is the clue. Okay, kita tengok clue dia sahaja. Okay, so kalau clue dia, that means when it's initial, this is the clue. T equals to 0. Whatever it is, initial velocity, initial acceleration, everything, dia kena T equals to 0. So when you substitute T equals to 0 into this one, then everything will become 0. So you will get V equals to 9. Okay? Lepas tu B. B kita ada the values of T in seconds when the particle stop instantaneously. What does that mean? Kalau dia tiba-tiba stop instantaneously, it's like when that particle is moving. Okay? When that particle is moving and then it stop. Kalau dia dah stop, from moving to stop, maksudnya velocity dia is equals to 0. So the clue is equals to 0. So kita put 3t square, tadi kita dah dapat dah. Function of V, 3t square minus 12t plus 9. So kita equates to 0. Then we will get, this is factorization. Okay, something to remind you about. Kalau kita nak factorize, you have to remember, okay, this line is very important. Okay, so let's say you factorize, kita kalau if you use your calculator, calculator akan tunjuk 3 and 1. Calculator akan terus bagi jawapan. Calculator akan terus bagi jawapan. But what is important now is, ialah 3 ni kena ada juga. Okay, 3 ni kena ada juga. Because whatever that you expand, kena dapat balik the previous line. Kalau awak tak ada 3 ni, without this 3, awak expand, awak akan dapat t square minus 1 minus 3, you will get minus 4t and then plus 3. Tak sama dengan previous line. So that's why 3 ni kena ada. Tapi macam mana kita nak bagi selamat? Because the calculator kata 3 and 1. Okay, so I have 2 option for you. Number 1. Yang paling selamat, once you have the quadratic, you solve by using formula. Yang formula tu, yang negative b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac over 2a. Ataupun number 2, katakan formula is very long kan, formula dia panjang. So what you can do is you simplify. Which means after you get 3t square minus 12t plus 9 equals to 0, awak simplify with table 3. When you simplify with table 3, awak akan dapat t square minus 4t plus 3 equals to 0. Barulah awak guna yang ni sahaja. Yang ni tak payah. Itu yang selamat. Okay? Okay, so I repeat this page. Saya ulang sekali lagi. So, A is settled. Okay, A is settled. Okay, B. When we say stop instantaneously, then we will have V equals to 0. Okay, apa-apa pun. Kalau stop instantaneously, that means V equals to 0. Lepas tu, 3t square minus 12t plus 9 equals to 0. This is quadratic. Okay, but then you have to remember, if you factorize, whatever you expand after you factorize tu kena dapat. Sort of macam rechecking lah. You have to rechecking. Okay, tapi kalau calculator, when you guna calculator, dia akan tunjuk 3 and 1. So mostly the student just write these two bracket. Dia lupa pasal 3. Sedangkan if you expand, you won't get 3t square. You will get 3 square minus 40 plus 3. Tak sama dengan previous line. So to be safe, ada dua solution yang saya bagi. First one, you use formula. And then second one, you simplify. Then awak bolehlah guna yang 2 bracket. Okay? So itu. So the clue will be B equals to 0. In terms of marking scheme, first mark for B is when you do the quadratic equation and you try to solve. Ingat dia datang sekali quadratic equation and try to solve. Whatever method that you want to choose, terpulang pada awak. And then the answer. Lagipun the clue here is values, plural. Maksudnya your T must be more than 1. Sometimes English in the question plays an important role too. Kena hati-hati juga with the grammar. Okay, let's go to second slide of Terengganu. Okay, second slide Terengganu saya kecilkan sedikit. Okay, so second one is the instantaneous velocity when its acceleration is 0. When its acceleration is 0. So macam mana? Clue dia, dia dah sebut dah kat sini, the one that I highlighted with the green one. Okay? Dia kata clue acceleration is 0. That's why acceleration is what? Acceleration is A. So A equals to 0. Okay? So what is A? Yang kita ada previously is kita dah ada S, displacement. We have V, kita dah ada. S dah ada, V dah ada. Now we want to find A. So kalau kita nak cari A, how do we find A? A ni kita dV dt. dV dt. So we differentiate the velocity. So kita dapatlah 60 minus 12. Kalau question kata acceleration is 0, that means A equals to 0. So we can find the value of T. Dapatlah T ni. Dapatlah T. Okay, T equals to 2. And then kita nak buat apa? Dia tanya instantaneous velocity. Kita dapat T, we substitute into V. Jangan substitute into A. That A is just to find the T. Nampak tak? In kinematics, they just play around between S, V, D. Minta guna displacement tapi nak masuk dalam velocity. Minta dalam velocity nak masuk dalam acceleration. Guna acceleration tapi nak masuk dalam velocity. So that's how kinematics play around. That's how kinematics play around. Tak susah, insyaAllah boleh buat. Okay. Okay, so this is the the last one for Terengganu, total distance. Okay, when travel by the particle when its acceleration is negative. So what is the clue? The clue here is kalau dah acceleration is negative, ayat panjang-panjang ni, basically in maths is just A less than 0. Inilah clue dia. Okay, A less than 0. Clue di sini, tapi total distance. Kita tahu kalau total distance is displacement. Okay, so kalau A less than 0, where can we find A? From C. Kita dah kira dah tadi. Tak payahlah nak kira balik. Less than 0, that means we will get T less than 2. Nampak macam senang, but if you look at my calculation on the right side ni banyak. Okay, what do we understand from T less than 2? Apa yang kita nak faham? Okay, number one. Mula-mula kita kena ingat, kalau kita nak cari total distance, okay, when we want to find total distance, since my animation is all out, semua dah tak ada kan, so tangan saya ni lah, my fingers are my animation. Kalau dia cari total distance, kalau dia suruh cari total distance, macam-macam mana sekalipun, you have to find V equals to 0. Sebab awak nak tahu when does it reverse ataupun change direction. Okay, kena cari. So kat mana yang dah ada V equals to 0? Kat mana yang dah ada? Kita dah ada dah tadi. Kat sini. Nampak? when B equals to 0 is from B. Nampak tak? Dia is very related to each other. So when B equals to 0, we have two values of T. One is 3, the other one is 1. So bermaksud this particle dia stop, dia bukan stop, dia change direction at 3 and 1. Tapi kalau awak tengok soalan kat sini, our T is less than 2. Maksud kata kita punya T 1 until 1 and 3. So kita tak kisah apa pasal 3 tu. Sebab 3 tu dia stop after the second time. Tapi our main thing now is until 2 je. Kita nak tahu T less than 2 sahaja. Kita tak kisah pun what happen after 2. So kita kena buat one by one. So kita kena ada 3 steps. Number 1, when it started. When it started, mestilah T equals to 0. And then the particle is moving kan. When it's moving, lepas tu dia change direction at 1. So kita kena cari when T equals to 1. Dapatlah displacement equals to 4. And then since the acceleration negative, we get T less than 2. Dapat less than 2. Maka kita kena carilah T equals to 2. Maknanya dia berhenti kat situ. It stop there. So kita tak kisah dah pasal ni. Yang 3 ni kita tak kisah. Okay, so we will have when T equals to 0, equals to 0. When T equals to 1, displacement is 4. When T is to 2, displacement is 2. So in the table, ini satu lagi cara. This is another way. Kita nak senangkan cara kita tengok. Okay. So on the graph, how will it look like? Okay, this is the starting point. When T equals to 0, semua kat sini lah. That's why T0, S0 lah. Okay, lepas tu when T equals to 1, dia 4. What does 4 mean? 4 ni maksud dia 4 meters. Ini apa? Meter kan? So 4 meters on the right of O. Maknanya this particle moving all the way 4 meters to the right. Gitu. So T equals to 1. And then it change direction. Inilah maksudnya change direction. Kalau all basically it started to the right, bila dia dah change mestilah to the left. Kalau right going to the right, itu bukan namanya change direction. Itu continue the journey. So change direction to the left. So when T equals to 2, it's 2. Apa maksud 2 ni? 2 ni maksud dia 2 meters from O. 2 meters from O. Dia tak ada kaitan pun dengan yang ni sebenarnya. This one is how displacement means from the point O. Itu maksud dia. So kalau 2, kita tak boleh kata sebelah sana. Because it's further away. So 2 meaning is coming closer to 0. So how do we calculate the length? The length pula. How do we calculate the distance? That means first part dia pergi mana? First part is from here, dia pergi sampai sana. This is the first part, which is 4. And then the second part is from here to there, which is kalau sini 4, sini 2, 2 lah jawabnya. Kebetulan. Ini kebetulan the distance from 4 to 2 ni 2 juga. Sebenarnya. So this is second one. So that's how we get 6. Okay, where are the marks? Number 1, the mark is for finding the value of T. Ingat, the value of T, dia tak boleh, kalau awak buat T equals to 2, salah Jangan buat T equals to 2. Sebab this is negative. Kalau negative is less than inequalities. So kalau buat equals to, meaning awak tak faham pun apa yang soalan nak. So even though your T equals to 2, betul kat sini, the bad news is most probably yang atas ni dapatlah 1, maybe 1. Sebab apa? Sebab any one of these you can get 1 mark. Boleh dapat insyaAllah. And then the third mark should be, kat sini 3 markah je. The third mark should be this one. Kenapa yang tadi kat sini dia bagi, ingat tak soalan tadi, kalau saya boleh pusing ke belakang, kalau tengok kat sini, ini dia dapat markah 1 mark, tapi kat sini tak dapat. Maybe because this one is just completely easier lah than the previous one. Ini hanya one direction and then the other one direction. Okay? Okay, so I think
Sekejap. Macam agak statik. Apa tu? Ada pelajar bagi tahu ni screen kat mana macam cikgu mana ni macam statik, tak bergerak. Can you try to move a little bit?
Dia tak gerak pula. Ya Allah, ya salah. Banyak betul lah dugaannya. Masya Allah. Sabar ya, apa lagi lah masalah kita kali ni ya. Betul, dia static dekat situ. What to do, what to do.
Unshare, share.
Unshare, share. Okay, let's try again. Thank you for reminding Kalau apa-apa masalah bagi tahu lah ya. Kadang-kadang saya share, saya tak alert kan. So, kita try sekali lagi Jangan risau. Everything will be okay. Okay, let's see now.
Cuba bergerak-bergerak sikit. Okay.
Kita dah bergerak. Dah lah kita gerak ke Melaka pula. Cuti-cuti ni kita pergi Melaka. Kita layan jam di Melaka ya. Sorry kiddos. Sorry ya. Terpaksa melayan teknologi macam ni ya. Semua nak cuti. Slide pun nak cuti juga ni. Okay. So let's see. Apa-apa kalau stuck bagi tahu balik bagi maklumkan dekat my colleagues. Mereka ada untuk maklumkan dekat saya. Saya tak sempat nak baca chat. Okay, question number 3. So kita ada Melaka. Melaka, a particle moves along a straight line and passes through a fixed point. Velocity is given. This is the function. Okay, cerita yang lain kalau awak tengok, basically they have the same kind of story. Sama je. Pusing-pusing, T is the time in seconds. Lepas tu dia bagi function, itu saja. But what you need to identify is the function given in the question. Mana tahu tiba-tiba dia bagi A ke, dia bagi S ke kan. Okay, so we have 4 questions. We have initial velocity, we have minimum velocity, we have range, we have total distance. Total distance ni mostly akan datang lah for kinematics. Because in total distance dia boleh tanya banyak sangat Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Saya guna 2 PC ni, so hopefully kita boleh tengok lah. Kalau sana bergerak, sini bergerak ke tidak Okay. So this slide is a little bit packed. Kalau ada animation tu dia tak adalah nampak banyak sangat kan. Okay, first question, initial velocity. Again, saya dah kata dah tadi, if it's initial velocity. Okay guys, since we have losing so many minutes previously, ada benda yang saya akan lajukan sikit. Those who are still new, saya akan repeat. Okay, kalau yang dah biasa kita jumpa sebelum ni, saya akan buat laju sikit lah. Okay, so this is initial velocity. Apa maksud initial? Clue dia, T equals to 0. Tapi kat mana nak sumbat this T equals to 0? Into velocity function. Okay, into velocity function. So, kita pun masukkanlah. Where is the function? From the question. From this question. Okay? So, kita ambil je. So, that's why you will see satu je markah dia. Okay, so where is the mark? Automatically at the answer. Dia tak ada dah nak bagi markah dekat sini. Because it's just too easy. Okay? Tapi tunjuk juga ni. Substitution, please show the substitution. Okay? Okay, B. What is the question? Dia kata minimum velocity. Okay, remember what I told you earlier on. Minimum. Kalau dia sebut maximum or minimum. In this case, for Melaka 2021, kita minimum. Kalau minimum, that mean we differentiate. Nak differentiate apa? Dah nama dia minimum velocity. So we differentiate the velocity. Tapi tak habis kat situ. Tak habis kat situ. You have to equate to 0. So this is the clue. Clue dia. Again, kalau minimum, kita kena differentiate. Nak differentiate apa? Differentiate displacement ke acceleration. It's based on whatever information given later. Kalau ni velocity, dapatlah dvdt equals to 0. So kita pun dapatlah yang ni. Equals to 0. Dah tahu dah markah dia kat mana. Kita cakap awal-awal. Markah dia is when you equate to 0. Arrow saya ni naik atas sedikit. Arrow pula. Tick saya ni naik atas sedikit. Kenapa susah-susah nak cari ni? Because we want to find the value of t. What to do with the t? Kita nak cari minimum velocity. Jadi, this t equals to 5. Kita substitute into function of velocity. So, I will get negative 1. Okay. I will get negative 1. Okay. If you have any questions, please write it down on the chat room. Nanti rakan-rakan saya akan tolong jawab. Kalau lambat sikit, harap bersabar ya. Okay. Okay. C. Okay, let's see C. So far the slide is moving Okay. C, kita nak tahu the range of values of T. Okay, kalau awak tengok perkataan range, if you see the word range, remember is either greater than or less than. Dia kena ada yang tu. Dia tak boleh equals to. Kalau dah range, dia kena ada greater than or less than. Okay, what is the clue given? Clue dia kata particle moves. Okay, particle moves. This is another keyword. To the left side. So kalau dia particle move, kalau dia sebut dia move, mesti ada kaitan dengan V. Kalau dia sebut distance, mesti displacement. Kalau acceleration, nanti kita tengok ada ke tak ada nak sebut kan. Okay, so move to the left. So V less than 0. So this is the graph. Kalau less than 0, this is function for V. Banyak dah kan from the question, less than 0. And then we factorize. Ini satu benda yang student sangat malas nak buat. But then this is the mark. Masalahnya inilah markah. If you factorize and then you skip this graph and then go straight to the answer, habis markah awak 2 mark. Habis. Sayanglah kan? Okay. Sayang. Okay, so this is quadratic. You solve. Ini factorize. Factorization of inequalities. This line is not the solution to get this answer. Bukan. Okay. For quadratic with inequalities, dia ada 3. Yang pertama, graph. Number 2 is number line. And then number 3, we have table. Tapi yang ni yang paling senang. Formula. Personally, I will say this is the easiest one. Kalau table, you have so many things to write. Plus, minus, almost like 2 or 3 lines, 2 or 3 columns. Okay. This one is easier. So, cara dia senang je. You factorize as usual. You can use your calculator. Whatever value that you get, sumbat dekat sini. And then less than. Less than, that means in the bowl. Dalam mangkuk ni, in the bowl. Okay. So, what does this arrow means? Kadang-kadang student saya pun ada tanya, apa maksud ni? Dia pakai buat je. Dia tahu buat yang ni. But they are not sure what does it mean. Okay. So, this one means the values of the t's are in this range. Okay, are in this range. So what does this arrow showing? This arrow showing to this axis. So that's why we will get T is between 4 and 6. Dapat jawapan. Okay. So that is Malacca. Kita tak bolehlah slow-slow sangat because we are lacking of time. So far the slide bagus. We are still at Malacca. Okay, so this is the distance in the first 5 seconds. Okay, ingat, kalau distance, benda pertama yang awak kena tahu ialah V equals to 0. Kena buat because we want to know the change direction tu. This particular change direction or not in our time given tu. Sekarang kita nak cari in the first 5 second. Meaning from T0 until T5 tu ada tak this particular change direction. Okay, so kita tengok. Kita dah kira dah V equals to 0 ni. Di manakah? Di mana? Di manakah? Sudahkah kita cari? Kita cari. Belum cari lagi. Ya ada. Okay. Tapi kita ada kat sini nampak. This one for C, dia bukan equals to 0. But when we factorize, kita akan dapat these two values. Kita boleh gunalah value ni. Okay, I repeat. Kita memang nak cari V equals to... Okay. It start again. Betul tak? Okay, so V equals to 0. Kalau kita ingat from question C, kita ada T equals to 6 and T equals to 4. Tapi yang kita nak cari sekarang ni ialah from T equals to 0 until T equals to 5. So kalau awak tengok slide saya sekarang, okay, kalau awak tengok slide saya sekarang, you will see that, awak tengok kat sini. This is another way to find the total distance. Boleh juga. Kadang-kadang this method, kalau guna integration ni, dia bagus because it can, macam mana kita kata? Dia tak adalah, it can go straight to the answer lah. Macam tadi saya dah guna table, saya dah guna number line kan. Sekarang this is another method of finding the solution of distance. Okay, so kita ingat. So we have two parts. Sebab apa this particle change direction at 4. Kalau ingat tadi soalan yang B tadi kan. So we have two integration lah. Kita kena bagi dua lah. The first part is from 0 to 4. Second part is from 4 to 5. Kenapa 4 to 5? Because kita nak cari first 5 second. Kita nak cari first 5 second. Okay, so 0 to 4. Okay, kita pun buat. Now kita cari distance. What we have is velocity. Kita ada velocity. So kalau kita bagi velocity, kita nak displacement, kita kena integrate. Kita pun integrate. So I highlighted two integration ni. Satu warna purple, satu warna hijau. So kita integrate. Ini yang susah tapi penting ya. Ini yang susah tapi penting. You have to number one in the circle kena tunjuk. Okay, in the circle kena tunjuk. Okay, that's why you see one tick there hidden behind the my green circle ni. Itu the first mark. That is the first mark. The first mark will be you integrated correctly with the correct limit. You integrated correctly with the correct limit. Maknanya awak tahu limit tu yang menunjukkannya awak faham. Okay. And then kita ada substitution. Substitution and on. Lepas tu that is the second mark. Yang ni tak payah. Bukan tak payah. Sebenarnya slide saya start balik ni. Okay. You see the second arrow here. Second arrow saya tunjuk tapi slide tak gerak. Second arrow is substitution penting and then the last mark should be answer. Okay, so sekarang kita dah ada dua Satu guna number line, satu lagi kita guna integration to find the total distance. Tapi apa-apa pun for both methods you have to find V equals to 0. My dear friends, my slide is stuck again. Okay, sementara saya because I can see macam ada banyak soalan tu. Try to ask the question while my friends answering your question. Saya reshare balik. Sorry lah for all the troubles. Jangan kerana itu awak rasa demotivated. Kejap. kita akan pergi ke soalan yang keempat. Ke negeri manakah kita nanti? Okey. Okey, degil dia tak nak. Sepatutnya kita dah kepaham ni. Tapi skrin saya tak nak gerak. Ada banyak soalan ke? Ada lagi yang tu tanya So tak keluar
Belum lagi.
Ya, tak apa. Apa kawan-kawan cuba jawab soalan, nanti try kat sini sebab buka kat dua PC ni boleh nampak.
Okey, jangan
Ada lagi
risau.
tak soalan? Ada
Soalan?
Ada tak soalan yang macam perlu dijawab secara lisan ke apa ke, yang susah nak type ke?
Kalau nak jawab tu, Lila, why can't we just limit 0 to 5 directly? Ada pelajar tanya.
Okey. Yang tadi tu kejap. Kenapa? Kenapa tak boleh to 0 to 5? Sebab kita number one, when you want to solve total distance, when you want to solve total distance, you have to find the change of direction. Sebab the particle, memang jarang lah any kinematics question yang dia tak ubah pun dia punya direction tau. Dia tak ubah pun dia punya direction. So dia akan, iyalah kalau tak ubah tu is sort of macam too easy. So kita cari dulu, tapi tak kata tak mungkin ada. Most probably akan ada yang tak change direction. Tapi kalau kata kita change direction, di mana-mana, saya cuba buka yang payahkan kalau tak ada graf Okay, bila dia dah change direction, maksudnya kita tahulah from the starting point before it change direction tu macam mana. Bila dia tukar change direction tu, and then bila dia change sekali lagi tu, dia patah balik tu, kita kenalah cari distance dia sekali lagi. Tapi susahlah cakap sebab kita tak nampak kan. Masya Allah, sorry guys. Mencabar betul lah presentation hari ni. Okey, mari kita tengok. Sekarang ni saya rasa
Dah ada.
Ada tapi dia tak bergerak ni. Sebab dekat tengah bergerak ni, tapi dekat sini dia tidak bergerak. Kenapa dia tak nak bergerak? Ini
dia panas sangat tu. Kena restart kot komputer.
Ini guna PC sekolah ni Okey, saya tutup dulu. Leave dulu demi anak bangsa. Kita buka balik Sabar sabar.
Masya Allah. Sementara itu, para pelajar digalakkan tanya soalan.
Sebab kalau awak tengok nanti kinematics dia akan benda yang sama sahaja. Pusing-pusing. Ya Allah, ya salam. Slide pun dia nak cuti juga ni. Kita nak kita buka tadi. Manakah dia? Tak boleh. Cannot. Ataupun pun tak tahu masalah di mana kan. Blank lah, tak boleh lah. Kesian, tadi dah 179 dah 166 dah attendees.
Okay, ada sikit. Tu ada keluar slideshow.
Yang kita cubalah kan. Sekejap, saya buka dekat ini pun dah 2 dah ni PC-nya. All done people. Okay. Kita tengok kat sini apa jadi. Ini yang tadi. Okay, wait. Hopefully this one okay lah. Kita tadi di Melaka, kita nak ke negeri Pahang. Tak apa. Yang tadi yang ada soalan tadi tu, yang pasal kenapa tak boleh ke 5 straight tu, nanti saya terangkan balik lepas-lepas ni. Okay? Akan ada lagi insyaAllah. Don't worry. Okay. Saya tengok yang Pahang ni, saya highlight dekat, sekarang saya akan cuba highlight Okay, kita tengok Pahang. Okay, so let's see Pahang. So Pahang for given is function V. Okay, given is function V. Kalau tengok majority V lah kalau partial ni. And then kita ada A minimum velocity. Dah keluar balik dah minimum velocity. And then we have value of K. Where is K? K tu if you read the question, dia tulis the particle stops instantaneously after K second. Ni yang kita nak cari is this K. Okay, is this K. Kita bagi pen. Okay, this is the K. Packing sini K. That is K. Okay. And then displacement instantaneous pun kita dah buat beberapa kali dah tadi. And then again we have distance in the first 15 second. First 15 second. Tadi kita ada 5, kita ada less than 2, everything Okay, so sementara saya punya slide ni masih berperangai elok. Kita tengok mana yang boleh laju, kita lajukan Okay, minimum velocity. Again, kalau ada minimum, kita cari apa? Differentiation. Clue is, kalau ada minimum, kita kena differentiate. Jangan differentiate saja, but then we have to equate to 0. Dia ulang yang sama kan? So this is our V. After we differentiate, kita akan dapat 2T minus 8. Lepas tu kita equate with 0, kita dapat T equals to 4. Okay. And then lepas tu kita buat apa with that 4? Kita substitute. Yang ni selaju sebab kita dah jumpa banyak kali So kita akan dapat negative 36. Itu jawapan dia. Okay. Okay, let's go to B. B pun kita dah jumpa. Stop instantaneously. Cuma kita tak tahu what is the time. K second tu. Okay, so kita pun tengok. Okay, markah before that, markah for A. Saya rasa by now awak dah tahu dah markah kat mana. Okay. And then kita ada satu lagi ialah is for the answer. Okay, settle A. Now let's go to B. B ni, kalau dia stop instantaneously, that means V equals to 0. Macam biasa, kan? Kalau stop instantaneously, maknanya V equals to 0. Lepas tu kita equatekan with 0, we substitute, we factorize, kita akan dapat yang tu. Yang ni ada trick For B kita ada trick sikit. We will get two values. One is T equals to 10 and the other one is T equals to negative 2. Saya cuba untuk tidak menulis. Saya risau bila saya menulis, dia akan buat saya punya presentation ni kacau. Okay. So, kita akan ada dua value, tapi awak akan tengok. Apa jadi, logically, kita ada satu one value of positive, the other one is negative. Logik ke tidak, for our t to be negative value. Ada ke tak? Negative 2 minit. Tak ada kan? So that is why we have to ignore t because t cannot be negative. T tak ada negatif. Okay? So kita hanya ada t equals to 10 sahajalah. But then remember, the question bukan tanya pasal t, but the question asks for k. So that is why your answer must be k equals to 10. Jangan tulis t equals to 10 because you are not answering the question. You are not answering the question. Okay? Kalau soalan dah tanya k, so your answer must be k lah. Even though that k comes from t. Barulah kita tunjuk yang kita tu faham nak jawab apa. Where are the marks? Number 1, the mark is for quadratic and factorization. Okay, quadratic and factorization. And then the last one is k equals to 10. Dapatlah yang B. Let's go to C. C ni apa beza? The displacement of the particle when it is instantaneously at rest. Yang ni saya akan laju sikit sebab kita dah jumpa. Kalau instantaneously at rest, apa maksud dia? Kita dapat yang tu. Ini kita cari dulu sebab kita nak tahu the displacement. Kita nak cari dulu function displacement tu. So function displacement kita dapat dari V. Kalau dari V ke displacement kita kena buat apa? That's why we integrate kan? We integrate. And then after integrate tiba-tiba ada C. How to determine C? Kita gunalah yang biasa tu. T equals to 0, S equals to 0, and then C equals to 0. So this is the real function. So tadi kan K equals to 10. Awak nak tulis K equals to 10 ke, T equals to 10 ke. Lepas tu kita nak buat apa? B and C ni dia berkait tau. Nampak tak? Saya dah highlight dah the green colour tu. Stop instantaneously at rest. Stop instantaneously dengan instantaneously at rest tu sama lah kan? Sama je. So after we substitute, kita akan dapat S equals to negative 800 over 3. Okay, that is something that I want to stress out. This is displacement. Displacement, dia ada negatif. Yang tak ada negatif is distance. Displacement negative means dia on the left of O. So that is why kita ada this explanation. When t equals to 10, the particle is 800 over 3 meters at the left of O. Kalau dapat displacement negatif, maksudnya left of O. Okay? Okay, so kita ke question D. Okay, before that, marking dulu di situ, yang kedua. And then last one is the answer. Okay. Okay, settle. So apa istimewa yang we faham 2021? B, number 1 is B because we have to find the time. Yang tu beza ni question faham. And then apa lagi beza dia? This time dia for faham 2021, displacement dia is negative 800 over 3. Dia dapat negatif. Tu beza dia. Because for last year, every state have different kind of question. Ada je unik masing-masing. Okay, D. D ni cari the distance. Kalau cari distance, ingat kena cari apa? Kena cari V equals to 0 dulu tu. So kalau awak ingat tadi, remember when our V equals to 0, kita dapat T equals to 10. And then our question now is kita nak tahu first 15 second. First 15 second. So maknanya 10 tu kan dalam 15 seconds. 10 tu dalam 15 second. So dia pergi dulu from 0 until 10. Lepas tu dia change direction. So that's why my integration has divided into two parts. First 0 to 10 and the other one is 10 to 15. Tu yang saya kena bagi dua. And then you integrate for V. Make sure your limit must be correct. Differentiation with correct limit, remember. And then lepas tu kita pun kira lah, substitute everything. And then lastly we get negative, answer is 225 over 3. Where are the marks? Yang pertama, substitution. Yang kedua, teruslah answer. Kalau boleh kita nak 3 kan? Kalau boleh kita nak 3 lah because integration dengan limit tu pun bukan senang kan nak cari. Okay, so dah kita sudah selesai dipaham. Kemana pula kita nak menjelajah? Okay, yang ni saya nak tunjuk basically this is just nak tunjuk apa dia punya ni lah. Kalau integrate, kalau substitute tu untuk yang mana sebab panjang kan. But I think this is not a big problem for you lah hopefully. Okay, let's go to kita ke Kelantan pula. Okay, Kelantan punya question dia bagi juga function V. Tapi tengok function V dia. Function V dia M and N. In unknown. M and N. Okay. And then it has one criteria condition. So dia ada additional condition tu. It is given that the particle stops instantaneously when t equals to 5 and its acceleration is 3 meter per second square when t equals to 1. Ada dua syarat kat situ. Two additional condition. So kita kena gunalah nanti. So A is find the value of M and N. Kalau tak ada value yang tu, macam mana kita nak dapat function B, betul? Okay, B, range of values of t when particle moves to the right. And then C, kalau distance travel by the particle during the 5th second. Ini lain. Yang MPSM Kelantan ni, Majlis Pengetua Sekolah Menengah Kelantan ni, dia ada C tu, pilihan lain tu. Kita kalau sebelum ni first 5 second, first 15 second. Sekarang ni kita nak during the 5th second. So macam mana? Okay, so kita tengok A, 5 marks, value of M and N. Kita kena guna, this is the function yang asal. Okay, kita kena guna clue dia. Dia kata tadi, V equals to 0. Stop instantaneously at t equals to 5, dia kata. Remember, kalau kata stop instantaneously, mestilah V equals to 0. At t equals to 5. So itulah first clue dia. So kita substitute, kita pun dapatlah 25m plus 5n equals to 0. Lepas tu dia kata acceleration dia pula. Acceleration dia ialah 3 meter per square second. 3 meter per second square when t equals to 1. So kita pun substitute. Kita pun dapatlah yang tu. Okay, don't worry, nanti soalan-soalan kalau tu akan diberilah insyaAllah boleh rujuk balik. So this is the function. This is after we use the two condition given. Okay, so kita dapat, this one kita simplify. Kalau tak simplify boleh, tapi susah nanti nak solve. So kita simplify, this is the second one, kita ambil dia daripada sebelah. And then clue. Kalau kita ada two linear equation, kalau kita ada two question for linear equation, kita nak buat apa? Ini I think lower syllabus ni, lower form punya syllabus. Kita solve simultaneously. Kalau lupa, ketuk kepala dulu, bagi ilmu tu keluar. Kok-koklah dia tergam dalam kepala. Okay, cabut-cabut keluar. So when we solve, kenapa minus? Sebab we have plus n plus n. Saya tak boleh nak contoh sangat, nanti kita terganggu lagi kelas. Okay, so bila minus, we will get 3m equals to negative 3. Nanti kan ramai yang salah buat 3m equals to 3. Salah tu dosa besar tu siapa yang buat 3m equals to 3. 0 minus 3 kita akan dapat negative 3. Bukannya dapat 3. So kita pun dapatlah m equals to negative 1. Selesai satu, how to find n? Kita ambil lah mana-mana equation yang kita nak and then we substitute. In this case kita ambil yang ni. Kita ambil yang ni, equation 2m plus n equals to 3. So kita substitute dalam tu and then kita pun dapatlah n equals to 5. So m dah dapat, n dah dapat. Maka selesailah A. Markahnya di mana? Markah dia ialah if you can find any of the equation. Awak dapat equation 25m plus 5n equals to 0 atau awak dapat 2m plus n equals to 3. Awak dapat mana-mana dua tu? Dapat satu je? Dapatlah markah insyaAllah. Next one, markah di mana? Solve simultaneously. Tengok. Saya bukan tulis yang dekat yang bawah tu. Saya tulis pada solve simultaneously. Which means kalau awak guna apa-apa kaedah, sebab simultaneous ni kalau awak ingat, we have two method of solving simultaneous. Number one, elimination. Number two, substitution. Yang saya tunjuk ni elimination. Kalau kata awak guna substitution pun boleh. So that's why the mark is for solve simultaneously. And then mana? Lepas tu awak eliminate any unknown. Asalnya kita ada m and n. Kita ada dua unknown. Now we have only one unknown. So kat situ dah dapat markah. Is either you solve m first ataupun you solve n first. InsyaAllah dapat markah. And then markah dia for value of m and n. Okay, B. B dia kata range of values of t when particle moves to the right. Yang ni kita dah jumpa dah tadi. So kita laju-laju sikit. Nampak tak jam pukul berapa? Okay, kalau moves to the right, move. Dia sebut dia move, kena V. To the right greater than 0. Yang tu kena ingat Ni asal. Tapi kita dah ada value dia. So kita gantilah value dia. Kan tadi M negative 1. Kalau M negative 1, kita dapatlah negative T square. And kita kan 5. So dapatlah 5T. Lepas itu yang ni. Yang ni saya nak stresskan juga. Kita dapat negative T square plus 5T greater than 0. Tapi ingat, this is inequalities. Awak kena ingat how to solve inequalities, kena guna either one of three. Quadratic graph ke, awak guna table ke, awak guna number line, kena guna. Without these three, markah kemungkinan kena potong. So apa yang saya buat di sini, when my quadratic originally, kat sini kan quadratic saya negatif. So kita tukar kepada positif. Salah ke kalau negatif T square? Tak salah. Cuma when it's positive, your graph is easier for you to understand. Lagipun kalau negatif, graph apa? Quadratic. Graph masam kan? Kita buat maths, kita tak nak masam-masam. When we do maths, we want to smile. Kita nak senyum, hati biar gembira. So, what happened? Kita pun factorize. Bila kita factorize, kita dapat macam tu. Which means, the two values for T, kita tengok kat situ. Nampak tak? 0 and 5. Cuba tanya diri awak, macam mana Cikgu Marni dapat 0 and 5? Daripada kuadratik tu. And then this is less than. Kalau less than is inside the bowl. Dalam bowl tu. Okay? Dalam bowl tu. So that means our answer is T is between 0 and 5. Dapatlah. Yang ni saya laju sikit sebab kita dah tengok dah tadi. Cuma apa istimewanya MPSM Kelantan 2021? Dia punya kuadratik dapat negatif. Ingat, kalau dapat negatif dia graf masam. So kita tukar kepada positif kuadratik. So kita senyum-senyum buat maths. Bukan senyum-senyum tak tahu nak buat. Tapi senyum-senyum buat. Okay, next. Itu markah dia markah dia tak banyak. Markah dia kedekut. Bukan kata kuadratik tau. Your graph plus your graph. First mark tu factorize plus the graph. So kena ingat. Okay, C kita cari apa? Ini special during. Bukan first Dia ada during. Kalau bahasa Melayu first 5 second. 5 saat yang pertama. Kalau during 5 second maksudnya pada saat yang kelima. Dia nak yang kelima sahaja. Kalau first 5 second maksud dia T0 tambah T1 tambah T2 tambah T3 tambah T4 tambah T5. But then if it's during the 5 second dia nak T5 sahaja. So how? Ini dia punya clue. Dia mesti from T4 to T5. Dia ibaratnya if you looking for T5, dia punya distance mestilah from T4 until T5. Dia celah-celah tu lah between T4 and T5. That one you have to understand. Okay, so kita pun carilah 4 to 5 lah maksudnya. Our integration 4 to 5. So kita pun masuk yang tu and then we integrate. Ini careful lah. Original function negative T square. Jangan pula pergi tukar jadi T square minus 5T. Because our V function bukannya T square minus 5T. Our function for V is negative T square plus 5T. Kena guna yang asal. Okay. Yang tadi tu sebab ada inequality. So saya reversekan dia punya inequality sekali. Yang ni tak boleh lah sebab kita tak ada inequalities. So kita differentiate and then kita substitute. And then kita pun dapat jawapan 13/6. Maka itulah jawapannya. And where are the marks? Okay, integrated with correct formula. Integrated with correct limit, and then we substitute and then the answer. Okay, tengok kalau saya tak menconteng, dia cantik perginya kan. Kita dah habis ke Kelantan. Okay, ini clone. Okay, ini clone ni tak ada beza sangat. So I think we can go a little bit fast. A1 tu dia nak initial velocity, kita dah pernah jumpa. Clue is what? Kalau initial velocity T equals to 0. Okay, so kita substitute macam biasa. Okay, so we will get 18. 0, 0 lah kan. So yang ni hanya ada. Okay, so that is the marks. V equals to 18 as the answer. Okay, lepas tu A2 ni, saya laju lah yang tu. Okay, A2 ni dia cari as clue. Kalau maximum, remember, sekarang ni apa? Tadi maximum velocity, sekarang maximum displacement. Kalau maximum displacement, that means still juga differentiate. Tapi nak differentiate apa? Kalau dah displacement, that means ds dt. Tapi jangan differentiate saja, kena equals to 0. Okay, so kita akan dapat, kita akan jadilah sebegini. Okay. Ni lepas kita dah differentiate, equates to 0. Lepas tu biasa kita buat apa? Kita factorize. Lepas kita factorize, you will get the two values. Dah pun nak buat apa? Lepas tu kita pun integrate lah maximum displacement. Kita kena carilah function displacement. Macam mana nak cari function displacement? Kita integrate. Lepas kita integrate, kita pun dapat. Apa yang kita dapat? Function dia with C. Kita ulang seperti yang kita buat sebelum-sebelum ni. So C kita basically is 0. So the new function is that one. Lepas tu kita pun substitute. Bila kita substitute, kita pun substitute with 3. Okay. Ada yang pelik tak dengan jawapan dia? Apa jadi dengan T6? Ada yang nak tanya tak? Kenapa apa jadi dengan T6? Kenapa Miss Mani kira T equals to 3 je? What happened to T equals to 6? Sebab soalan dia kata in the first 5 seconds. Why do we care about T equals to 6? Kenapa kita nak kisah? So that means apa yang kita cari hanyalah yang 3 sahajalah. Tak payah kisahlah yang 6 tu. Okay? Okay, so itu beza dia soalan clone. Okay, next one. Kita marking scheme. Those are the marks. 4 marks. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, dia sebab yang A1 tu 1 markah. That means A2 akan jadi 4 marks. Okay, B1, B2. Kita tengok B1, B2. Okay. Kita tengok B1. If the particle stop instantaneously at point A and point B, find the distance between point A and point B. So kita pun carilah. Distance displacement kita dah dapat sebelum ni dan kita dapat T3 dengan T6 tadi kan. So Kita pun substitute. Kali ni kita guna yang 6. Kali ni kita guna yang 6 sebab dia kata between point A and point B. Bermaksud A tu mungkin dekat T equals to 3. B tu mungkin dekat point T equals to 6. Jadi awak kenalah cari dua-dua sekali. Kenalah cari dua-dua sekali. So bila dah dapat 45/2 dengan 18. Bila kita ada point A and point B, kita nak cari the distance between them, kita kenalah minus. Kita tak boleh plus. Kita tak boleh plus. Sebab kalau plus tu macam that thing is going further away. Further away, makin jauh. Now we want to find between point A and point B. So that's why we minus. So basically the answer is 9/2. Jangan rasa pelik because this is particle. Particle dia tak boleh jalan jauh-jauh. Okay? Okay, the marking scheme will be either one of the values. Bukan values sebenarnya. Use of either one of S. Sama ada awak substitute with 3 ataupun awak substitute with 6, dapatlah 1. And then the answer 9/2. Okay? Okay, B2. Kita nak cari total distance in the first 6 second. Kalau awak tengok, okay, so kita ada 45/2. First 6 second ni, kita cari first 5 tu macam first 6 second. 9/2 ni antara A dengan B, betul? Antara A dengan B. Where did we get 45/2? 45/2 ni, dia dari yang mula-mula dia gerak tu. From 0 to 3, yang itulah yang kita cari tadi tu. So ini ada kaitan dengan soalan yang sebelumnya. So which is 27. Where is the marking scheme? Dapatlah 27. Okay. So dia berkait-kait berkait. Kenapa tak nak guna 6? Kenapa nak guna 3? And all those things. Okay, this is something new. Velocity time graph. You have to know this skill too. Sketch a velocity time graph for the motion of the particle from 0, 3, t between 0 and 6. Okay, mana kita dapat y-intercept 18? Itu daripada A. Ada tadi yang A. Nanti aku tengok. So saya tunjuk dulu yang ni. Apa benda ni. And then this is what happened. Okay, kalau dVdt equals to 0, kenapa kita cari dVdt equals to 0? dVdt equals to 0, kita nak tahu dia punya change direction. Kalau in terms of graph, that means, saya tunjuk graph dulu Okay, this is smile graph. This is smile graph. Lepas tu kita ada 3, 6. Remember macam mana kita dapat 3, 6 tadi? Value of t kan? Bila V equals to 0, kita akan dapat 3, 6. Tu kita keluar 3, 6. Okay, lepas tu, how did we get 9/2 and negative 9/4? Yang tu sebab dia turning point dia. Kita gantilah kat situ. Calculation is on the left. Nampak macam 2 markah je tapi banyak. Where can we get 18? Yang tadi tu when t equals to 0, kita dapat V equals to 18 daripada soalan A. So, that is the answer. Yang itulah yang kita kena tahu bila sketch velocity time graph. Okay? Okay. And then the marks is number 1, the shape, and then label. Tu kena ada lah. So, you have to remember number 1, when you want to sketch a velocity time graph, kena write down where are the intercept. Y-intercept, X-intercept, pintasan Y, pintasan X. And then you have to find the minimum point. Okay, minimum point. 2 markah. Okay, kita dah habis clone. I think kita dah pukul 12. Macam mana rakan-rakan sekalian? Should we proceed or stop or how? Nak proceed ke macam mana ni? Okay. Bos mini besar kata biasa proceed. Okay, kita proceed. Tak banyak dah. Ada 4 lagi Okay, kita laju. Kita tengok, this is negeri 9. Okay, negeri 9, function given is V. Tak ada pelik pun, nothing is awkward about the function V. Question A, kita ada initial acceleration. Ini yang baru, but then initial is still initial lah. Kalau dah kata initial, that means T equals to 0. Tapi kita nak sumbat or we want to substitute into where? Kena dah function acceleration. So, kita dah ada function acceleration ke? Belum. Kita tak ada lagi function acceleration. So, that is why kita differentiate acceleration tu. So, that's why dapat 3t square minus 12t plus 8. Kita substitute with 0, dapat 8. So, beza soalan ni apa? Initial acceleration. Okay. Mini boss saya yang kedua kata laju sikit. Okay, kita laju sikit. Okay, B. Kalau tak faham terusannya B dia kata interval. Clue given is less than 23. So kita gunakanlah kemahiran less than 23. So kalau kata less than 23, kita pun A. Tadi kita dah dapat A from question A. Kita pun simplify and then we factorize. Remember, nak factorize, ingat saya cakap macam mana tadi. Number 1, whatever you factorize, kena dapat the previous line. Kena dapat balik 3t square tu. So 3 tu kena tulis kat depan bracket. Okay, and then kalau in terms of graph, saya akan dapat something like this. Nanti awak tengok, ingat balik. When you factorize, make sure, make sure dia dapat apa yang previous line tu. Okay, apa yang previous line tu. Okay, so apa lagi yang berbeza dengan soalan ni? Okay. Sekejap, minum air sekejap Okay, so itu settle yang B. Saya laju tadi sebab basically benda yang sama. Kita repeat benda yang sama. So stop instantaneously. Ini pun sama. Kalau dah keluar stop instantaneously, maksudnya V equals to 0. Problem will be, apa problem dia? T cube. Biasa kita factorize T square kan. Sekarang kita ada T cube. Sama je, guna calculator. Only the problem will be, dia akan keluar 3t's. Ada 3t. Dia bukan 2 lah, because 3 cube. So we will have 0, 2 and 4. Ini semua calculator boleh jawabkan untuk awak. So marking scheme will be tu. So without the 3t's, jawapan awak salah lah. Okay, D. Total distance. Okay, tapi clue word dia ialah point O again. Kalau point O again, apa maksud dia? Tu lain pula tu yang saya highlight warna hijau. Kalau point O again, that is function S, tapi ada C, so kita kena cari what is the value of C. So kita akan dapat, this is the real function of displacement. Okay, so kita ada, kalau tengok C, kita ada 0, 2 and 4. Okay, kita akan buat kat situ. So kita kena cari semualah. Kalau when T equals to 0, S equals to 0. When T equals to 2, kita akan dapat S equals to 4. T equals to 4, we will get S equals to 0. Okay, how will it looks like on graph? Okay, so that is our starting point. Kalau awak tengok bacaan dia. When T equals to 0, S equals to 0. Maksudnya dia dekat starting point lah. Tak ke mana-mana. Kalau T equals to 2, kalau T dia equals to 2, dia kat situ. 4. Apa maksud 4? 4 on the right. So dia ke sana. Lepas tu bila dia T equals to 4, dia S equals to 0. Apa maksud dia? Dia patah balik ke starting point. So total distance dia ialah, tak nampak tu, 4 plus 4. Starting point to 4 meter. Dia patah balik 4 to 0, another 4 meter. So that's why kita akan dapat 8. Okay. Okay, itu settle markah dia di situ. Either one of the three dapat 1 mark. 4 plus 4, 1 mark, and then the answer 1 mark. Okay, kita dah habis yang negeri itu. Okay, ini mana ni silap saya ni. Okay, Putrajaya. Putrajaya we have two set 1 and set 2. So apa yang beza is, okay kita tengok terus. Function given is V. Memang banyak function V yang diberi tahun lepas. Okay, acceleration T equals to 4. So kita kena cari acceleration. From V to acceleration, kita kena differentiate. Substitute with 4, we will get negative 8T. Dapat. Okay. Ini saya rasa boleh agak straightforward. Okay, B. The keyword will be maximum velocity. Apa maksud maximum velocity? Maksud maximum velocity, that means dv dt. Maximum velocity is dv dt. What is dv dt? dv dt to A. That's why saya tulis A equals to 0. Saya tak tulis lah dv dt equals to 0. Saya tulis A equals to 0. A kat mana nak dapat? From A tu dah ada. So we will get T equals to 1. What will we do with T equals to 1? Kita substitute dalam function velocity sebab kita nak cari velocity. So dapatlah V equals to 3. Okay, answer is there. Okay, C. Apa bezanya? Saya rasa yang C ni kita boleh proceed sebab dia sama. Momentarily at rest. Tak ada beza sangat. Mana yang laju tu kita laju. Okay, D saya rasa. Okay, this is masking scheme. Okay, B returns to 0. Apa maksud returns to 0? Okay, clue is S equals to 0. Bila dia returns to 0, we assume that dia tak ada displacement. Dia macam positif negatif. Dia pergi ke kanan, dia patah balik. So in our calculation, our imagine sort of macam bila dia pergi and then patah balik backtrack on the same distance, they hilangkan nilai sesama mereka lah, lebih kurang macam tu lah, nak senang cerita lah. Okay, so S equals to 0. Yang ni take note. So where is S? Do we have S? Yes. Kita dah cari kan dekat B, dekat C tu function for S. So kita pun equates to 0. Again use your calculator. Kita pun akanlah dapat jawapan T equals to 3. Dapatlah. Memang kita cari T equals apa kan? Dia nak satu je tu, value of T when particle returns to 0. Okay, let's see Putrajaya set 2. Function given is V. A tu sama, initial velocity. So kita boleh proceed je. V pun kita dah jumpa. Macam Putrajaya set 1 tadi. Lepas tu kita cari dapatlah V equals to 9. Okay. Soalan-soalan ni awak akan jumpa je dalam online. Cuma awak kena tahu dia punya tu. Saya tunjuk mana yang berbeza sahaja. Okay. And then kita ada marking scheme. Ini pun sama sama je. Okay. C. Acceleration reverse. Apa maksud reverse? Kalau reverse basically V equals to 0 lah. Reverse ni another meaning for change direction. Sama je, change direction. So kita pun equals to 0. Dapat two values of T. Remember, T negative, you have to ignore. Kena ignore. Lepas tu when substitute with 4, we will get negative 6. Sama je kan, nampak tak? Dia pusing-pusing je. Sama je dia punya soalan. Kat initial velocity, initial acceleration. This total distance, yang ni samalah. What method do you want to use? This time I use integration. Mana kita nak tahu 0 to 4? Sekarang ni question from first to 5 lah. First 5 second. Tapi if you look at C tu, tengok dekat C, apa jadi? Kita ada T equals to 4. So that's why our integration have to divided into 2 parts. 0 to 4, 4 to 5. 0 to 4 tu before it change direction. 4 to 5 tu sebab kita nak first 5 second, 4 tu dah tukar. So dia pusing dah balik. So dapatlah yang tu. And then yang ni paling panjang, and then the answer 70/3. Okay, settle Putrajaya set 2. Where are the marks? Okay, the mark is there. Siap, 3 marks. Okay kan? Okay. Let's go to Perlis. Perlis function is B. Apa beza dia? There is P. Nampak tak ada P? So how to solve P? A is how to solve P. Kita pun gunalah. Dia guna clue. You have to use the clue. The clue says acceleration when is 7 when t equals to 1. So kita pun gantilah. So you will get p equals to -3. For A, to solve A, you have to use acceleration. Okay, B ni benda yang sama. So kita lajukan sedikit. Ini tak apa, saya tak payah explain kod yang B dia tersekat kat bawah pula Okay, so that's the answer. Okay, yang B. Sebab benda sama kan, maximum velocity. Okay, what about marking scheme? Ini markah dia. Okay. C. Laju lah kan? C, Dr. Distance. Okay, remember, cari distance kena buat apa? Kena V equals to 0 sebab kita nak tahu where does it change direction. Dia change direction kat mana? Kat mana dia change direction? So kita akan dapat, when we factorize, dia akan ada 2. T equals to 5, T -2/3. Boleh ke terima -2/3? Tak boleh sebenarnya, kan? Okay, so kita pun gunalah. So 2 parts, 0 to 5 and then 5 to 6. Sebab dekat 5 tu dia dah change direction. So second part is 5 to 6 after it change direction. So dapatlah jawapan 78. Dapat 78 Okay. Sekarang rasanya total distance dah pandai kot guna integration Okay. Dah datang akhir sekali pula. Okay. Okay, so Perlis. This is the graph. Ini satu lagi tapi tak apalah. Saya terang this one. Sebenarnya apa 0 to 5 tu kat mana, and then the reason why we cannot calculate automatically from 0 to 6 sebab dia area yang berbeza. The pink one is above the x-axis, the blue one below the x-axis. Dia tak bolehlah disekalikan. Kalau dia sama-sama bahagian tak apa. So that's why we have to plus them. Okay, and this is the last one. From Johor. From Johor. So function given is V. Apa yang beza dengan Johor ni? Kita ada 2 initial. Satu initial velocity, satu lagi initial acceleration. Yang A 1 mark. So very straightforward. Terus dapat 15. Okay, yang B initial acceleration, I think this is the first time yang kita jumpa initial acceleration ni. So kita dapat sama saja. Initial acceleration maksudnya kena cari apa dulu? Initial acceleration ni. Okay. Kita cuba, okay. Kalau saya tak tunjuk agak-agak boleh buat ke tidak kalau initial acceleration? Kalau initial acceleration maksud dia you have to find t still equals to 0. Tapi acceleration dia, you have to find the function of acceleration. Okay, function of acceleration. So how to find the function of acceleration? Itulah cara dia. dv dt. Kalau tak tahu cari function acceleration, susahlah kan? So initial t equals to 0. Sama juga. Substitute t with 0. Dapatlah 4. And then the answer is 4. Okay, and then C kita ada maximum velocity. Yang ni kita dah jumpa banyak kali kan? Banyak kali dah kita jumpa. So kita boleh buat laju-laju sikit. And then last one, cuba teka apa benda untuk D. What do you think is the question? Seperti biasa, D is about distance. Tengok, sama je kan? So there's no problem for you to get 10 marks lah for kinematics. Stop instantaneously. V equals to 0 lah. And then kita pun tengok the function for V. Tadi dia dah bagi in the question. Kita dapat 2. Dia tipu awak macam ni je. Benda yang sama. But then T negatif tu kenalah ignore. Tak boleh lah nak terima kan because negative T. Tak, pusing-pusing benda yang sama kan. Okay, so function of S. Then we substitute with T equals to 3. Dan kita pun dapatlah T equals to 36. Okay, so that is my last slide for today. Mana markah dia? Rasanya awak pun dah boleh teka where are the marks will be. Okay, conclusion. We have 3 things in kinematics. Displacement, velocity and acceleration. And then apa beza between all these 3? Okay, and then this is the prior knowledge. You have to know how to differentiate, you have to know how to integrate, and then you have to know the basic of quadratic equation, how to solve quadratic equation. Okay, these are the keywords. Awak tengoklah. Basically, it revolves around these 5 terms. To the left, to the right, or instantaneously at rest. Apa maksud dia? V equals to 0 kan? Reverse change direction pun sama. V equals to 0. What is initial? Kalau initial, T equals to 0. Kalau maximum and minimum, differentiate equals to 0. Tak dia pusing-pusing yang tu sahaja. So lastly, awesome words from me. Mathematics is not about numbers, equation, computations, or algorithm. It is about understanding. Find the keywords, understand what the functions given, how to get the function, integrate or differentiate, then inshallah you can answer kinematics easily. Thanks. That's all from me. Sorry for all the technical problems that happened today. Okay, semoga apa-apa yang saya bagi tu serba sedikit dapat membantu anda dalam menyelesaikan kinematics. Okay, that's all from me. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon.